Hello folks, welcome back to my channel. This is Town, and today I have another kind of review for you, as I will be reviewing the very first episode of the series called Supernatural. So indeed, we will be looking at the pilot episode today as a kind of anniversary kind of thing, since it originally aired 20 years later. So, indeed, it aired on September 13, 2005 on the WB. It was directed by David Nutter and written by Eric Kripke. In this pilot episode, we are basically introduced to the show itself, to the mood, to pretty much what it is about, right, for lack of better terms. So it all begins on that November night in 1983, as we have this family known as the Winchesters, who live in Lawrence, Kansas, on that big house, right? So basically, yes, something pretty traumatic is going to happen at the house, right? And it's kind of going to be the one of the main elements of the TV show, and especially this season, in terms of main theme, right? So, yes, I don't want to spoil too much for you or anything, but basically, it all happens as our two main characters, Sam and Dean Winchester, are children, right? So, you're going to have this big kind of opening scene that is going to kind of set the mood for the rest of the episode, of the season as a whole. And, well, needless to say that this is just the beginning. As the episode goes on, it basically shifts, moves up along to 22 years later. Now Sam Winchester is basically, who was the youngest of the two brothers, goes to Stanford University. He's a good student. He wants to be a lawyer. He has a big interview scheduled for Monday, right? And he has a girlfriend named Jessica. And basically, he just wants to live a normal kind of life. But all of that is going to be kind of put to the test, as his older brother, Dean Winchester, is just going to drop in one night on Halloween, I believe, out of the blue, just like that, at his dorm. And basically, he's going to ask for his help, as their father, John, has gone missing. And Dean would like his brother to help him in this search for their father, for their dad, right? So at first, Sam is kind of reluctant. He doesn't really want to get sucked back into this life of hunting, right? But eventually he decides to go after Dean shares some pretty relevant piece of information with him, and he decides to hit the road with his brother as long as he's back by Monday, right, for his big interview. So their search for their father is going to kind of lead them to that kind of urban legend kind of thing of a woman in white who's basically kind of hitchhiking alongside that stretch of road. And well, I don't want to spoil too much or anything, but to cut a long story short, many people are going to go missing, and this is going to be kind of their first important case that the two of them are going to be working on. And they believe that, Dean especially believes that his father was investigating this before he went missing himself. So their investigation is going to lead them to Jericho, California, where they're going to be doing some groundwork there, trying to gather up evidence, and figure out the story behind this mysterious woman in white, right? Who's basically, yes, hunting that kind of road, right? In usually at night, right? So yeah, this is kind of the main premise of the episode, and they're gonna be able to kind of figure out everything and bring this whole thing to rest, so to speak. And as the episode goes on and everything is kind of solved, right, something else is going to happen near the end, and a big twist is gonna obviously occur that is gonna pretty much paved the way for the rest of the season, the rest of the show, as a you know entirely, right? So this is pretty much how it goes, the episode itself, and yes, that's how much I can say about it because I want to keep it as spoiler free as I possibly can, right? So yes, there you have it, people. So this pilot is very interesting, especially as it introduces us to the main characters, Sam and Dean Winchester, who are played by Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles, who are both awesome actors, especially Jensen Ackles, but also Jared Padalecki, of course. They both worked on a lot of scary movies. And Jensen Ackles was in a few other productions and a few other shows prior to that. He was in Smallville a year prior to that. He played on the soap opera known as Days of Our Lives. So he was a very well known actor before that. But Jared, sorry, is also awesome in it, and he later on went on to play in other horror movies and so on and so forth. He's really a good, talented actor as well, and I really enjoy how the chemistry between the two is is uh, is working so well, right? You really buy the idea. It's like they really they really sound like brothers, right? This is the kind of relationship you would expect from two brothers. So really enjoyed kind of the whole how their relationship is, the banter, the humor. At some point, Sam is kind of mocking Dean's taste in music, and I think that was pretty funny. Yeah, the two of them have this kind of complex relationship at first, but you can tell that they get along. And this is one of the best parts of the show, right? The whole Winchester brotherly love, so to speak, right? So I really enjoyed it. So Jared and Jensen as the main actors are really awesome, right? Really enjoyed their work in that pilot, especially since we're focusing on the pilot today. Then we have other actresses. We have Sarah Shahi as Constance Welsh, the woman in white, who was also really good. She was really scary. Then we have Adrian Palicki, who plays Jessica Moore, who is Sam's girlfriend, who's also a really very good actress, especially in this particular pilot episode. We have Samantha Smith, who plays Mary Winchester, the mother, the wife to John. So she's I guess you could say, yes, an important character in the show. Then we have John Winchester, the father, the husband, who's played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who's also a pretty good actor. Then we have others as well, such as R.D. Cole, who plays Sheriff Pierce, who is also really good. Really enjoyed him in that. We have Ross Kahn, who plays Troy Squire, who's kind of a dirtbag, but you'll find out for yourselves. We have Steen Railsback, who plays Joseph Welsh, who I believe was also in other things as well, in other TV shows. So, yeah, really enjoyed it. There are other actresses and actors and actresses. We have Derek Webster, Jameel Walker Smith, Elizabeth Bond, Miriam Korn, and Robert Peters. But yeah, they were pretty awesome, right? All of them, but especially the main ones, such as Jared Padalecki, Jensen Ackles, Sarah Shahi, and Adrienne Palicki were really good in that. In this pilot episode, and so were Samantha Smith and Jeffrey Dean Morgan as the main ones, right? So, really enjoyed this pilot episode, the whole way it's written. And actually, it was written, yes, as I mentioned, by Eric Kripke, who worked on Boogeyman in that exact same year. And you can tell that there are many similar elements between the Boogeyman movie from 2005 and this pilot episode. Many elements, especially the way the title of the show appears, is very similar to Boogeyman, right? With the letters and everything. Anyhow, I really enjoyed this episode. I think that especially Dean, who is my favorite character, is so funny in that episode, especially, with everything that he's kind of the the funny one of the pack, and Sam is kind of the more serious kind of person. They're kind of working together, but you could say that Sam is definitely the brains of the outfit, whereas Dean is the guy who likes to fool around a little bit, but still was pretty driven as well and focused. And after what happened to them on that night of November, 22 years before this episode, the events of the present day of the episode, which is 2005, ever since that happened, you can tell that it definitely kind of, Dean is kind of very affected by what happened, as he was just a young child, right? He was very young, whereas Sam was just a baby, so he doesn't have that many memories, but he still wants to join his brother in the quest and that hunt to find their father, right? So this is actually a ghost kind of story, to be honest with you, with the whole Woman in White legend. And I really enjoy how this first pilot episode kind of explores and delves into the whole folklore. There's a lot of American folklore in this TV show, a lot of, urban legend kind of elements. So I think that this is such a good way to learn a little bit about history, American history, a little bit, because there are going to be a lot of episodes kind of dealing with many different aspects of that, right? And I really enjoyed this pilot. I think that it definitely is a good way to introduce us to the characters. It's bloody, it's gory, it's scary, right? So I really enjoyed how it definitely kind of sells the whole idea, right, to viewers. As we watch it, we definitely get a sense of what the show is like and how it evolves and works and progresses. The pacing is good. Everything is awesome in this pilot episode. Really enjoyed it. And also the scenes with the car that is an Impala, the car is definitely one of the most, is such a beautiful, like, nice wheels, right? And it's such a good way to, there are these two brothers who are going to be kind of traveling on that road trip across America in that car. It definitely adds a sense of, rush, right? That they have a nice car, they have a nice, it's a good way to kind of present the show, right? That's why actually you have a lot of pictures with the car in the background, right? Promotional posters, right? Yeah, so as you can tell from the one that was used for the pilot episode and the TV show as a whole, right? So, yeah, so I really like that. The two actors are very handsome, so that's why, they're, usually you see them as in the promotional posters, because it's like they're really, when you see them, the two of them together, you really want to watch this show, right? You think to yourself, what is this about, right? What are these two brothers? What is their relationship, and what is it? What is the show about, right? Especially Jensen Ackles. As I said, Jared Padalecki later on played in a lot of other awesome movies, and he's a very good actor as well. He was in House of Wax that exact same year, 2005. He's a really good actor, and Jensen Ackles was known prior to that show as well, because he was in other movies and TV shows and soap operas. So he's really, the fact that we see him, and most of us would recognize him from these, we think it's a good way for us to want to watch this show, since this actor was known, right? But yeah, really good episode, a good pilot episode of the show, since it's pretty difficult to write a pilot that is going to be kind of, sold, because it's so difficult, to kind of, with all the competing shows and all of that. But yet it definitely kind of sets itself apart with its themes of scary theme. It's a horror TV show, so that's why I thought that it would be a pretty good fit for this channel. And it's such a nice ride, right? From the beginning to the end, there's a sense of adventure, a sense of quest, mixed up with some humor, dark humor. But it's such a good presentation, a good way to, a nice introduction to the TV show itself. So I really enjoyed this pilot episode. And it's like a Monster of the Week episode, which is pretty much how every single episode of this first season is formatted. It's basically the Monster of the Week concept where the two brothers stop in a specific town. Like in this one, it was in Jericho, California. But basically, they go to a specific town and investigate there, some kind of a monster kind of thing, right? So I really, really enjoy this concept of the show. It's definitely my favorite format as far as the TV show is concerned. And like I said, this is a ghost story. And it's pretty sad near the end as you find out for yourselves, as you reach the conclusion. But yeah, really, really enjoyed it. The special effects are awesome. The suspense, the music, the theme, horror is so good, right? It's most of it takes place during the night, and you have these big old houses, kind of like really creepy. So it's a very, very awesome thing, right? And near the end, obviously at the end, after the final twist, you basically have the basically this is how the TV show, the pilot, basically ends up with the by having the main concept put into action, right? As this will be kind of how the show operates. So really, really enjoyed this first episode, this pilot of the first season. So before I keep on, repeating myself, I believe it's better for me to wrap this up. So if I were to rate this episode on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd definitely give it a 9 out of 10. Solid rating. Really, really good episode. Really enjoyed the beginning, up to the end. Really interesting, really suspenseful, really intriguing. And as you go on with this episode and it progresses, you fall more in love with the show itself, the characters. You enjoy it, every single minute of it. So really, really enjoyed this whole production, this whole pilot, this whole yes, short eps, short. It could work as well as a short movie now that I think about it. But really, really enjoyed the whole concept, the whole vibe, right? The whole mood, the whole atmosphere. Really, really enjoyed it. So 9 out of 10 for me. What about you folks? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And please join me on this adventure, as this would be kind of like a 20-year-old reunion, so to speak, where we'll be delving every new week, God willing. I'm trying to keep a weekly schedule of the reviews, where each new week we will be reviewing the episode that aired 20 years ago. Might take us some time, though, to do every single episode, but it's more about the fun and the adventure, the rush, if anything. But yeah, I would really like to review this TV show with you, and to come together as fans and talk about it. Alright folks, so that's pretty much it for this review, and 9 out of 10 for me. Let me know in the comment section down below. What did you think about the pilot? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next review. In the meantime, stay safe, goodbye, and take care. This is Horror Town signing off.